or that the president of the county commission indicated that it would not be used as a foreign facility, and that he had discussed this with the sheriff and also with the health board. The funny thing that I noticed about that is that the county commission mentioned that as if the health board was some arm's length transaction or discussion. The president of the county commission at the time of that interview with WTAP was also the president of the health board. My concerns are that, and as the meeting went last Thursday, my concerns were that, you had people there, you had people from the public who are on the ground working with homeless, working with the most vulnerable in our community. And it was asked by the county commission president what the mayor of Vienna, what about the mayor of Parkersburg, and the mayor of Parkersburg and the mayor of Vienna, they don't have a $13 million facility that was identified as a wellness. The people that came from House to Home, the people that came from the Latrobe Street Mission. I know there's people at the gathering who work with the homeless on a daily basis. They had people sleeping on benches. It's not their responsibility to coordinate for the entire county. This facility was created to make Wood County more resilient as a woman center. And the unfortunate thing is that in your reporting from last Thursday, the public was shown as a cacophony, for a brief moment, as a cacophony of chaos. And right after that, the government official was allowed to sit down for a private interview. And that's not the role of our media. Our media should be telling both sides of the story. Our media should be informing the public. The public should know that the president of the county commission was at the time, he's now the treasurer, but at the time of his interview was the president of the health board as well. So arguing that the health board said that there was no need is not an arm's length transaction if both entities belong to the same one. So it is that this facility is not just for property owners, as was mentioned in that meeting. This facility should be used for the most vulnerable in our communities. I don't need this facility. I live in a big, warm house, okay? And I can take care of myself. I don't need the county to take care of me. There are people who live on the streets every day. We bring them in to the resiliency centers. They get ushered out of those resiliency centers. Is our homeless population being increased because of that? I don't know. The county should know that. The county should want to know that. And a facility like this, with a $13 million investment, at the very least, should be used to protect our most vulnerable.
But I want to ask, are there any other concerns that you want to get out there now that this building is built and there is an open house taking place today?
Only that we should hold the leadership of the county responsible for the things that they say when they propose something as massive as this. It shouldn't be just a convention center. It shouldn't just be a meeting place. The governor of the state issued a state of emergency due to the weather on January 5th. And it was still in effect. You can go to the governor's website, and I have that with me if you'd like. But the governor's website also on the 18th, I believe, identified it as an emergency. And our county officials should have used their leadership positions to coordinate all of these private organizations that are trying to help the most vulnerable.
Okay. And Thursday, so what are some of the questions that you are wanting answered about this building?
Who determines whether or not this facility would be used for an emergency? Who's determining what an emergency is and how this facility would be used to help with that purpose. That's one. Two is, it was kind of confusing at the meeting on Thursday regarding the funding. It seemed like it's been reported that this is a $13 million facility, but if I understood correctly, it sounds like we built the facility for $5 million, and that there are funds left. I believe you said there was an $8 million savings in that, and those funds are being used for other purposes. And what are those other purposes? And were those purposes identified in the original request for the fund? And we've asked those questions. We've got a FOIA in the county commission to get those answers.
Okay, and then my last question, or my second to last question would be, now that this building is built, I know a lot of people have their opinions on it, but do you believe that in the long run this building could be a good facility and a good asset for Wood County?
I think if it's used for some of the state purposes, yes. I don't believe, one of the things for vaccination, mass vaccination, things like that, I don't know that we needed that. We need the facility for that. I don't think we need to be taking business away from private industry to hold conferences, to hold large meetings. No, I don't think that's. I don't think that's a productive use of taxpayer funds. That should be dealt with by the private industry within our community, supporting private employment.
Okay. And then, is there anything else that you would like to add? Say anything that I didn't mention or ask you?
Not off the top of my head.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you for people at the Latrobe Street Mission, the people at the Gathering, the people at House of Home. They should be talked to. I don't work with them. They should be interviewed to understand their needs and what they thought this facility was to be used for. I would suggest that would be a good use of the public airways. Thank you very much.
Thank you.